My name is Chris Jones, and I'm here with Brittany Layden. I'm the president of the Moot Court Honor Society here at Texas Wesleyan University School of Law. Brittany's the vice president. We're here today. We're going to go through the structural elements of what is entailed in a moot court argument, where everybody should sit, and then Brittany's going to go through the structural elements of what each argument should begin with, depending on whether you're petitioner 1, petitioner 2, respondent 1, or respondent 2. First of all, we have on the board here a layout of what a moot court argument would look like. And first we want to go through where each individual would sit. You notice petitioner 1 and respondent 1 sit on either side of the podium. Petitioner 1 and respondent 1 each sit closest to the podium, no matter whether the layout is such as on the board here, where the chairs are behind the podium, or if the layout was vertical, petitioner 1, respondent 1 would still sit the closest to the podium. Respondent 2 over on the far side, petitioner 2 right here. The judges will be in front of you. That's who you'll address. That's the basic presentation of where you would sit in a moot court argument. Now Brittany's going to go through the structural elements of what each argument should begin with.
Hello, as Chris introduced, my name is Brittany Layden. First, we're going to talk about some of the basic points of an oral argument. First, each individual will come up to the podium when it is their turn to speak. The order that people will speak in is petitioner 1, petitioner 2, respondent 1, respondent 2, and then petitioner 1 again for rebuttal time. When you come up to the podium, you will bring a portfolio or a manila envelope, or a manila folder that opens up and very cleanly fits on the podium without a lot of papers. You'll have your argument taped to or attached somehow to the inside of the two sides of the folder. Other things, general things that you need to know about a moot court argument. When addressing the judges, it is never yes sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, or no sir. It is your honor. It is always your honor anytime you address the judges. Another point to know is that you don't speak over the judges. The judges are allowed to interrupt you and ask you questions in the middle of your argument. The instant that they begin speaking, you cannot continue speaking. You must allow them to ask their question. The only other time that you are not to continue speaking is when time is up. If you see that your time's up card is about to be held up by the timekeeper, then at that time you may ask the judges, if you're in the middle of answering a question especially, Your Honor, may I answer your question and then briefly conclude? This will allow you to have a brief moment, even after time is up, to continue answering the question and conclude your argument. Finally, the very first thing that you will say to the court or to the bench when you approach the table, and this phrase will begin your time with the timekeeper, is, "May it please the court." First, we'll discuss the petitioner 1 argument. Petitioner 1 is very unique. First, they will introduce to the court their name, their co-counsel's name, both issues before the court, and after outlining their two issues and who will be speaking on each of those issues, they will also ask for rebuttal time. This time is cut out of their 10 minutes of speaking time, if 10 minutes is what each speaker is given. This rebuttal time will be cut from that initial 10 minutes and will be used at the end when they get up to speak after respondent 2. So, if petitioner 1 were to approach the podium, they would begin their argument by saying, "Chief Justice, Your Honors, may it please the court. My name is Brittany Layden. My co-counsel is Coleman Anglin, and we represent the petitioners, Senator Davis and Congressman Campbell, in this issue, or in this case. The issues before the court today are whether the congressman has standing to pursue this claim and whether the Timetable Act was constitutional. I will be discussing the first issue. My co-counsel will be discussing the second issue. At this time, the petitioner asks for 2 minutes of rebuttal time. You will pause briefly and allow the judges to either grant your request or decline your request. Then you'll proceed into your argument discussing your respective issues within, for example, I would discuss the standing issue, any issues I have under the standing issue. At the end of my argument, I would conclude by saying something along the lines of, for the foregoing reasons, we ask that this court reverse or affirm or remand with instructions, whatever you would like the court to do. Petitioner 2 would be the next to speak. They would get up. They would have basically the same structure. They would not be required to introduce their co-counsel or the co-counsel's issue, since it was already discussed. And they will not be required to ask for rebuttal time, since petitioner 1 is the one who asks for that time. R1, respondent 1, will get up next and will introduce the two issues again, and themselves and their co-counsel, and state which issues each will be discussing. And then finally, R2 will get up and do their argument. They will not be required to introduce both issues or their co-counsel, since that has already been done. In the very end, petitioner 1 again will come up to do the rebuttal argument, and simply start it by saying, "May it please the court, I have 2 or 3 issues on rebuttal." They will discuss those issues and again ask for their relief that they seek. Once they sit down, the arguments will be concluded, and then the bailiffs and the timekeepers will instruct you as to what to do. These are the basic tips and the basic structure of a moot court argument, and we hope this helps in any competitions that you do. Thank you.